a successful psychology professor teaching for decades. Tonight, we learn he's a 3-time killer. His secret past. Next. This is CBS 2 News at 10.
Good evening, I'm Rob Johnson.
And I'm Kate Sullivan. Tonight, CBS 2 has learned new details about a violent night on Oak Street Beach. People throwing fireworks into crowds, purses and phones being stolen, gangs beating up people and fighting with each other.
It all happened on July 4th, and tonight, CBS 2's Suzanne Le Mignot has the 911 calls of people desperate for help. She's live at Oak Street Beach with this original report. And Suzanne, why are we just finding out about it now? It's been almost a month.
Well, Rob, I requested the tapes. It took about 3 weeks to get those tapes. Now, what we did was we edited these calls. They took place over a 23-minute period, and we did so to give you a snapshot of the chaos that was unfolding at Oak Street Beach near the Division Street underpass on the night of the 4th of July. At 9:23 p.m., a 911 call is made about fireworks being set off among crowds of people at Oak Street Beach.
We're over here by Division and Lakeshore Drive by Oak Street Beach, and there's a crowd of people throwing M80s by the people. They got M80s? Yeah, the fireworks, M80s, they're just blowing them off, and there's like crowds of people there with their kids, and they don't care.
Okay, we'll send the beach patrol police.
At 9:34 p.m., another call.
People shoot off fireworks, but, I mean, everybody just took off. I don't know. You may want to send some cops down here. I don't know.
Also at 9:34 p.m., a caller says a fight is breaking out.
Yeah, we need the cops down here on Oak Street Beach. There's a whole gang of hoodlums fighting and kicking each other in the head and jumping on each other. There's families down here on the beach.
Callers also mention people trying to escape the chaos.
Everybody's taking off. People crossing the freeways. I mean, we need cops down here now.
All right.
Bye.
911. We're at Lakeshore and Division, and we need some police protection down here ASAP, please.
What's going on?
There's a lot of young people acting up, and there were a lot of people that went running for the exits. It's been a mass exodus down here. You can't get into the tunnel.
Okay, I'll let the police know.
ASAP.
About 2 minutes later, there's this call.
There's a lot of gangs out at the Division Street entrance of Oak Street. They're swiping purses, and, like, people are running. Things are getting stolen. People are hitting the ground. We're at Oak Street Beach, and there are gangs of kids beating up people here. I don't know if there's any cops in the area.
Well, tonight, Chicago police tell us that the staffing was appropriate and arrests were made within minutes of robberies. In a statement, they tell us as well that while there were a few isolated incidents near the Division Street underpass in which 3 robberies were reported, there were more than 1 million people along the lakefront for the fireworks on the 4th, and there were no widespread significant issues. While we do not discuss specific staffing levels, we always ensure we have the appropriate staffing for events in the city, and in each of the isolated incidents reported, police responded quickly and made arrests. Live near Oak Street Beach, Suzanne Le Mignot, CBS 2 News. Kate, Rob.
Okay, Suzanne, thank you.
Now to a developing story tonight that raises fresh questions about the future of Metra. The chairman of the Troubled Transit Agency just resigned. The resignation of Brad O'Halloran comes after the agency awarded a huge severance package to its CEO, amid claims the agency is a patronage dumping ground for a powerful politician. Mike Parker is live at Metra headquarters in West Jackson with the story. Mike.
Kate, Brad O'Halloran won't be coming to work here as Metra chairman anymore. His surprise exit makes him the latest casualty in a scandal that just keeps on growing.
Elsewhere, a busload of Greyhound passengers no doubt relieved to be in Chicago tonight. They've been through a lot. Passengers say the bus from Toronto crashed into a semi in Michigan on I-94 between Battle Creek and Kalamazoo. 11 people were hurt. They're all expected to be okay, but passengers say it made for some shocking, scary moments.
I just woke up to bang, and I was smashed up against the seat right in front of me. And then it's noise, it's total chaos. You know, it was like a bad dream sequence.
People were freaking out and
climbing out the window.
Yeah, we all had to jump out of a window, and they were like crying, and there was blood like all over.
A new bus picked them up, but later, and we're not making this up, that bus broke down on the Skyway. Another bus picked up the passengers and took them to the Greyhound station on Harrison downtown. Greyhound says it sent representatives to help passengers with anything they needed. And check out this dramatic scene in the South Austin neighborhood. An SUV slammed into the back of a building at Madison and Cicero. The driver was trapped. Investigators say the 30-year-old had a medical emergency. It took a number of firefighters to get the driver out. He's been transported to Mount Sinai for treatment.
Illinois is now the 20th state to legalize marijuana for medical use. The new law signed today, called the toughest in the U.S. CBS 2's Chris Martinez has more on the rules and the people who will benefit.
So it's been a long time, long journey.
Her journey, about a decade.
I have one of these when I wake up.
Years of using marijuana.
For so many others that are looking for some other option.
And this law doesn't actually go into effect until January 1st, and there are many other rules involved here. For example, doctors, of course, have to prescribe it, and the marijuana would be banned in public and also around any minors. Live in the newsroom, I'm Chris Martinez, CBS 2 News. Rob and Kate.
Okay, Chris, thank you.
He is an Illinois professor who has been carrying a deep, dark secret for decades. What this psychology professor did 46 years ago that has caught up to him, and why the university is standing behind him.
Mistakes that should have been fixed years ago keep happening. So what's going wrong?
Some of you are shelling out a lot more than your neighbors. Pam Zeckman investigates property tax mistakes.
A professor at a downstate university has been keeping a dark secret from his students and faculty.
46 years ago, at the age of 15, he killed his entire family. This is Dr. James St. James. He is a professor of psychology at Millikan University in Decatur. In 1967, in Georgetown, Texas, James shot his dad twice in the chest, his sister once in the chest and in the face, then shot his mother twice in the head when she was awakened by the screams. He was found not guilty by reason of insanity. James spent years in a mental hospital. A Texas paper tracked James to Millikan University. He's been teaching there for 27 years. Tonight, Millikan says it was only recently made aware of James' past. However, they say his efforts to rebuild his life have been remarkable, and they expect him to teach this fall. Certain property tax mistakes were supposed to be fixed years ago, but they're still happening.
Not fair to all other homeowners around here. We are getting ripped off.
In fact, some of you are paying a lot more than your neighbors. Pam Zeckman investigates.
And here's what you don't see often. Oprah hanging out with David Letterman. A look at her second ever visit to The Late Show. If you live in Cook County, your property taxes were due today. That's never a happy thing, but some of us are paying higher taxes than our neighbors because of assessing mistakes.
Now, those mistakes were supposed to be cleared up years ago after a CBS 2 investigation by Pam Zeckman. Now she's back at it and finding even more problems.
Does this look like vacant land to you? Hardly. And even though a photograph on the Cook County Assessor's website shows the home was there in 2008, it's still described and assessed as vacant land. And that's what infuriates area residents who complain that these homeowners are not paying their fair share of property taxes. They've been paying roughly $1,200 to $1,700 a year, jaw-dropping for Kathy Demar, who pays
$8,000 and $9,000 a year.
They are paying as if this is vacant land.
It's not fair to all other homeowners around here. We are getting ripped off.
Chicago Police Sergeant Joseph Mark owns the home. Mark says he told the assessor's office the house was finished but never got a corrected tax bill. So it's their mistake.
Yes. Some things, I guess, fall through the cracks.
As a result of our inquiry, the property has now been reassessed with estimated taxes of $6,700. Plus, Mark will be charged for 3 years of back taxes. You going to pay it?
Of course, of course.
Still, the lapse aggravates owners of comparable homes who've been paying that all along, like Renee Magaro.
I blame the politicians. They need to do something about this.
After we disclosed in 2010 that houses all over the county were incorrectly assessed as vacant land, corrections were made and the proper taxes paid. Then former Assessor James Houlihan began a review of all vacant land that was finished by his successor, Joseph Berrios. The results? 401 buildings were added to the tax rolls with over $2.2 million in taxes due.
You're talking a lot of money.
But they missed this $1 million home in Glenview, assessed as vacant land for the 3 years the former owner lived here. Makes people mad.
And they should be mad.
What's your warning to people who own these properties and are just letting it slide?
If we catch you, we will not only tax you, we will go back 3 years and you will pay interest and penalties on that tax.
The assessor says the mistakes happened because his office was not notified about the permits for the new houses by their building departments, which they are supposed to do. That helps flag properties that will require reassessment. Barrios also wants your help. His email address, created for whistleblowers, is on our website, so you can report mistakes like these. And Robin Kate, he says he'll check them out.
How many more misassessed land is out there? I mean, obviously, it wasn't vacant, the one that you showed. It was a very nice home.
We don't know. Now, Barrios says he's going to continue this plan to check all of the vacant property. There's some 60,000 parcels of vacant land. They're going to be checking them all the time now.
But clearly, you shining the light on this has really raised the issue to a higher level, hasn't it?
It has. 400 properties put on the tax rolls as a result of our stories.
That's good.
2.2 million. Wow. Thank you, Pam. This weekend, Chicago becomes the music capital of the U.S.
It sure does. Lollapalooza starts tomorrow afternoon. Chopper 2 HD spotted crews putting the finishing touches on the massive stages. This appears to be a test of the giant screens on one stage. The festival runs through Sunday night. It also features food and other activities. And Steve, will it be a good weekend to be outside?
Well, Rob and Kate, most of this musical weekend will be terrific. It's the start of it that's a little shaky. We'll have early morning showers and thunder showers roaming the area, and then again late afternoon we run the risk of rain, but I think that will be mainly south of the city. So let's hope that it works out just that way, because when you got the split flow in the middle of the day, it's kind of hard to pinpoint just where these storms might wind up. Tonight, nothing brewing. Nice night tonight. Really feels like summertime. Here come the showers and the first batch of some heavier rain trying to move toward Rockford. Not there yet. There's a sense that this bunch will go this way. This clump of showers and thunderstorms will head south across Missouri, but one way or the other, we've got rain headed in this direction. So, boy, but this afternoon, everything lined up just right. Almost normal, 81 degrees. 83 degrees is normal for the high. This morning's low is only 3 degrees away from what you usually get this time of year. 69 degrees now along the lakefront, feels just as fine out in Aurora and many of the suburbs. You know you're in pretty good shape when the places west of you are warmer, because that warm air drifts in this direction. So we have a good shot tomorrow at hitting 80 degrees or coming close. So that light rain develops toward 3 in the morning, showers and storms early before noon, and then again late. But right now the feeling is that those will slide south of Chicago. So with all that in mind, here's the way we roll them on out. 84, 83, 84, that's where we ought to be. Don't see any of that kind of weather in sight. It stays relatively cool outside, but I'm telling you, after the shower and thunderstorm threat tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday look spectacular. A real nice feel to the weather.
So again, tomorrow early, pretty dicey.
That's right.
Okay, thanks. Derrick Rose's return to the United Center is delayed again, but not for the reason you might think.
Plus, Bears star defensive end Julius Peppers answers the age-old question, how old is too old?
Weather on CBS 2 is sponsored by Toyota. Let's go places.
Corey Wooten's now the third Bears defensive lineman to suffer an injury in training camp, and that's after they lose Cedric Ellis to retirement at the start of camp. The Bears are hopeful Wooten's hip injury is nothing serious, though. He's having an MRI to be sure. DJ Williams remains in a walking boot, though Jermon Bushrod's out of his. Both sit out practice again in Bourbonnais, as does Lance Briggs. He gets a veteran's day off. The defensive corps features a number of veteran players in their 30s, but Charles Tillman's playing his best at the age of 32. And while ARP's probably sending literature to defensive end Julius Peppers, he says he feels great.
I feel like I'm 25, you know. Age is just a number that people put on players. I mean, it's real, but it's really in your heart and your mind how you feel. So I feel young in those places, and that's the thing in this league. When you reach 30, that's that number that everybody wants to put on you and say you're getting old, but I think we got the right mix of older guys and younger guys. So I don't think it's a problem as far as age on this team.
There's a trend developing for Jay Cutler and the first-team offense. Very slow starts to practice, but they pick it up as they go. Cutler and Brandon Marshall connect several times, including this hookup with Peanut Tillman draped all over Marshall.
It was awesome, man. Me and Peanut got into it the other day because he was holding. You know, we're tired of that. So for the rest to be out here holding them accountable felt good. I guess that's why you saw some big plays.
The NIU Huskies are looking to build on the success of last season, hungry for more after Media Day at Ditka's restaurant. After their Orange Bowl appearance and becoming the first MAC team to earn a BCS Bowl bid, the Huskies have set the bar pretty high for themselves.
The target's on our back. Teams are coming out after us. I mean, there's probably, you know, there's pressure on us, but we don't see it that way. You know, that's what we're expected to do. Like Coach Gary said, we set high expectations for ourselves.
Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher are on hand at Wrigley as the Cubs open a 4-game series against the Dodgers and phenom Yasiel Puig. Junior Lake says, Puig who? Lake's making a name for himself with a long blast to left that just stays fair. Next up, it's Anthony Rizzo. Puig this. They go back-to-back. Lake and Rizzo each have 2 homers on the night. Yeah, Puig belts out a homer too. But Lake is the play of the night, tracking down the Adrian Gonzalez foul ball. That's going to leave a mark. The Dodgers top the Cubs 6-4. Someone's only working a half day if he's checking out the matinee game between the White Sox and Indians in Cleveland. Chris Sale doesn't have his best stuff in the series finale. Brian Rayburn clubs the wind-aided 2-run blast, giving the Indians the 3-0 lead. The pitcher with the worst run support in baseball gets none again. The Indians complete the 4-game sweep, beating the Sox 6-1. Well, Bulls fans hoping to see Derrick Rose's return to action will have to cash in some frequent flyer miles or wait. The preseason opener is October 5th at the Indiana Pacers. They'll host the Memphis Grizzlies in St. Louis, then head to Rio de Janeiro for the NBA's first ever game in Brazil. United Center fans get their first chance to see Rose and Bulls Wednesday, October 16th. Why can't some of those home games actually be at home?
Yeah, eventually they will.
Yeah.
The 4th one.
Yes.
All right, thanks. Appreciate it.
Oprah Winfrey and David Letterman together again. The first look coming up.
This portion of CBS 2 News is sponsored by Discount Tire.
The rumored feud is long over, but an appearance by Oprah Winfrey on David Letterman's show is still a reason to celebrate.
It is. The show starts in just a little bit, but we have a sneak preview.
Do you meditate? I can tell you don't. Never mind. I'm just asking that. You know, I'm just being polite. I can tell you don't.
I do.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you.
No, I mean, why would I lie about that?
No, yeah, why would you lie about that?
I'm meditating right now.
You remember Winfrey didn't appear on the show for 16 years, but she returned in 2005, and there she is tonight, right after us.
And they appear to be getting along well, and it looked like she was doing the interview.
Yeah, always, right?
Yes, of course. Steve's back with your Wake Up brother.
This portion of CBS 2 News is sponsored by your Chicagoland Ford dealers.
What top Chicago chefs are often doing just outside their kitchen doors.
And what people don't understand is how easy it can be.
How it makes for a tastier and healthier menu. It is Your Chicago, and it's coming your way tomorrow at 10.
Yeah, that Rick Bayless, he knows a thing or two.
He does.
And here's the man that knows a thing or two about morning weather.
And some tasty menus as well.
There you go.
Of course. Once in a while. All right, what's going to be happening when you're having breakfast tomorrow morning? There's a chance that we could have some thunder showers roaming the area even before the sun rises tomorrow. So keep it in mind. One of those Fridays headed our way.
Okay.
Thank you, Steve. That's it for CBS 2 News at 10. Join us again at 4:30 a.m. for the CBS 2 Morning News. And as we mentioned, Dave Letterman's next with Oprah. I'm Kate Sullivan.
I'm Rob Johnson for Steve Baskerville and Jill Carlson. Have a good night. See you tomorrow.
You're watching CBS 2 News, original reporting.